Welcome to the Education Podcast, where it's all about helping people and organizations unleash their greatness. The Education Podcast features lively discussions.
When they share it, you see that they're beginning to feel empowered.
My heart, it's full of pride for me to be at Maitai Samoa.
You don't necessarily need a degree these days. There's so many pathways to success.
Welcome to the Education Podcast. Talofa lava, malo lele, and welcome to the Education Podcast. Today's guest is Johnnie Timu, who is the founder of Brown Pride, a South Auckland social enterprise serving 600 plus locals through markets, youth pathways, mental health talanoa, and practical skills like barbering and merch. Oh man, it's amazing. In this talanoa, we focus on his origin stories, the values that drive Brown Pride, how leaders shift from a victim mindset to ownership, and his real hard approach, building resilient, welcoming, active communities with real pathways into digital skills, business, and sustainable careers. Enjoy. All right. Well, thank you for jumping on the podcast. I've seen your face a lot on social media, online, but it's good to see your face in person.
No, shout out.
You're the same person, the handsome guy I see online, handsome in person.
Yeah.
Humble as well. Really appreciate it. Look, we always like to start with people's story. Because it gives our audience an idea of who you are.
Yeah.
What's made you who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know Johnnie, who is Johnnie? What's your story?
Again, thanks for having me. That's a blessing, man. If anything, I'd love to interview you as well. Like I've always, on podcasts, I always like somewhat learning about the people as well. I don't want to sit here and, sort of idolize myself as a guest. Again, I'm just big ups to you for creating this platform for more of our people to share their stories. For me, I guess Johnnie Timu is what I'm known as, behind the scenes or in a formal space. What everyone sees online, I call that guy J-Boy, is just a front. But there's a lot behind J-Boy that's that people don't know of, and a lot of things that made me resilient or made me who I am today. From a youngster, everyone sees what Brown Pride is now. But slowly, as the more in the public eye and the more, more vulnerable or more open with my experience in my life, then the more people understand, this wasn't like an overnight success type buzz. For me, I was born and raised in South Auckland. Originally was staying in the shore with my auntie and my family and my mum's sister, and then moved to Otara. I was in Otara for a bit and stay housing, and then moved to Rewa, and I've been in Rewa since I was early primary school years, or just before primary school. Just of a Samoan family. Both my parents came from Samoa, first of their generations come from their family, and started life here. And then met in the early 90s, and then boom, boom, bang, me and my siblings started. It's been a blessing. I'm the third eldest of my parents' kids. The eldest of my parents' kids, but they had kids prior to them two meeting. I'm 30 years old now. Got two kids, my son Messias and my daughter Fia, and another one on the way. My partner, fiance Salu, she's carrying at the moment. And
so that's your third child?
Yeah, that's my third on the way. In Feb. So if anything, my upbringing is just like any other Southside born kid, just raised around family, squashed into houses, a room per family type buzz. And then slowly, we start finding our feet, and here we are today. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be in the position I am today. But it's all to my mom and my parents and our upbringing. So I wouldn't change anything. Yeah.
That's amazing. And for those who don't know Brown Pride, tell us a little bit about that and the origin story of that as well.
Brown Pride is growing up in primary school, and me and my sister, after my sister, there's a big 10-year gap between my younger siblings. But after my sister, my parents sort of went their separate ways, staying at different houses and whatnot. And then just me, my sister, and my mum growing up, and then finally got our own state house, a housing house, and we're going primary school. And I always envied the Palangi kids. I had a mate, a Palangi mate that I went to his birthday, I think when I was 6 or 7. And man, he had like his own room. He had the PlayStation 1s at that time. He had a pantry full of food, or fridge full of food, unlimited cordial. I just envied. And even at school, all the Palangi kids at St. Anne's, they just had nice lunch and nice shoes and full uniform and things like that. So I just assumed as a youngster that my skin color dictated whether I was rich or poor, or gonna be a successful person or not. And I always envied the Palangi because I used to joke that I wanted to be like Michael Jackson and bleach my skin, just so I could somewhat feel like I was like a somebody. But I was just young and naive and unaware of the real world. That I just thought that because I was brown, I wasn't gonna be much. But as you grew up, and as I sort of started getting more connected to my family, understanding my name, understanding my parents' upbringing, and understanding my Samoan village and heritage, then man, I was just proud to be brown. I just felt this overwhelming mana of man, I'm bloody proud to be who I am. And once I sort of settled on that and embraced my skin color and my culture and my last name, and then I knew, man, there's nothing that can faze me if I can walk with my culture and with God by my side. I don't fear anything. There's nothing I feel. Oh, there's only one thing I feel. I'm scared of mice. It was funny. I'm scared of mice. That's the only thing I'm scared of. It's because I used to have pet rats, and we went to Samoa this one time, came back, and one of our rats ate the other rat. There's full-on white rats. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what made me scared of mice. That's the only thing I'm scared of. If you know, you know. That's probably
No judgment, bro.
Yeah.
No judgment, bro.
That's probably the first time I've seen that publicly. My family now, I'm scared shit of mice. And then any other fears? Fear of dying. Not fear of dying. Just fear of leaving without accomplishing everything I wanted to. I don't fear meeting my maker, but I fear meeting him before I've accomplished what I wanted to. Yeah.
I love that. And so with Brown Pride, you do a lot of work in the community.
Yeah.
I see on your social media all about fitness and well-being for your people. In the community, you do a lot of work with the youth. And you got your hands in some different projects as well, but it's all about giving back, eh?
I think, once I sort of embraced that of being proud of being brown, I wanted other kids to grow up and not go through that same sort of mental battle that I was going through as a youngster. Man, I wish I was in a Palangi family, or man, I wish I was in a rich family and things like that. So I wanted to create a space where, man, kids would get rowdy and get fired up about being brown and just embracing their culture and not being scared to chase anything. It wasn't until I was probably 21 or 22 where I really was oh, you know what, I can do anything I want. But I wanted that young J-boy or Johnny that was 5 or 6 to have that same passion and that same relentless attitude that, man, bring on the world, I'll take on the world. It took me till I got to 21 or 22 to flick that switch that there's no excuse, I'm going all in. So that's sort of what I wanted to break, was that we can create a space or create an atmosphere or vibe with Brown Pride that any brown kid was nah, man, I can do anything I want to do. That's sort of the whole mentality around Brown Pride, is just encouraging that young Johnny or that young whoever, that, man, you can take on the world. There's no excuse. Don't stand back or stay humble because you're brown. Fucking take on the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can see where your passion comes from, and it reminds me of the saying, just what you're sharing around, especially for business and to do well. It's try and solve the problem or serve the person that you were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What was the pain or struggle that you had way back then those are the type of people you need to help.
Yeah.
You know, so what you're sharing is basically reminds me of that. I can see why people can resonate with that,
Yeah.
and they can relate to you because you're serving the person that you were when you were 5 years old,
Yeah.
6 years old, and
Yeah.
above, which is awesome. You talked a lot about, obviously, you know, you went through the struggle, comparing yourself to other people, other, you know, palangi.
Yeah.
Is your mindset still the same? Is it still like does your skin color determine your future?
Nah, yeah, man. I think I flicked that switch around my early 20s. I was like, oh no, actually it doesn't. Like we're set in this trap that we are what we surround ourselves with, or you can't be what you can't see. Like for us, we grew up. There's like few success stories in our brown communities and stuff like that, but there's not enough that we all like embrace and all like we just see it as motivation and oh good on them, but we don't see it as oh yes sweet I can do that as well. I think the more I started understanding that, then the more like I was like oh man I'm ready, and the more I was more passionate to like spread that same vibe and that same spirit to those around me. Like even my best of friends that grew up with in primary school, they're the ones that we founded Brown Pride with. But that's the same sort of mana I wanted them to feel like, man, it's 6 of us, we can take on the world, we can take Brown Pride in South Auckland around the world. And yeah, like I don't associate success to your skin color. I don't put a benchmark or a roof on top of what we're capable of. Now it's like, man, I don't care whether you're white, yellow, purple, brown. I don't care. It's like we can do anything that you set your mind to, and that's the sort of breakthrough that I had in my early 20s. Yeah.
I love that. So then, what's your advice then for people out there who, you know, have dreams, they have goals? Like, look at what you've built, man, today, compared, you know, to the dream that you had growing up in your 20s. What is it now? If it's not the color of your skin and all of that, like, what do you recommend that people focus on developing the skills, the mindset to help them achieve their dreams, their goals?
Like, yeah, I guess like a sort of mindset or approach that worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for anyone else, but worked for me because I tend to overthink, and because I've gone through my own mental health battles and been stressed and overthink a lot of stuff. But I heard the saying from my deputy principal at La Salle. He's the one that kicked me out a couple of times of school and tried to get me expelled. But he told me sometimes you just set fire and aim. You just don't think about what you're doing and you just do it. Like when I was getting into trouble and stuff, then I was like, man, that's a good analogy. Like not in the context of me just starting fights or doing stupid shit, but I guess I could take that same approach to anything. So like it's something that I always remembered, even though he was growling me off. I was like, man, if I took that same energy of how valeo or how ruthless I was as a youngster into business, like set fire and sort it out after, and aim and do your planning after, then man, we could pop off. And I think that's sort of what we've done is just, we knew we were good at fitness, so we started boot camping, and then within a year or a couple months, it was just like spreading like wildfire, and then we moved into a gym. And I think that was because we didn't overthink shit. We just, like for us, our big thing is we do the do. If we want to do it, we'll do it. Like there's nothing holding us back. But it was that whole mentality of set, fire, aim. Yes, it'll probably cause a mess, but hey, at least you've done it. At least you're not overthinking. At least you're not on that little bridge that a lot of people sit on. Or should I do this? Should I not? Just set fire, aim, sort it out later. That's sort of how we've approached most of the things that we're doing. But now that we're like in a space now where there's more, I guess, eyes on us, or there's more people to be, like to agree with things that we're doing. Now it's more planning and more set, aim, then fire. Whereas when we were starting, we were just like, yep, should we do something tomorrow? Yeah, sweet. Should we spend this money? Yeah, sweet. There was no real structure, no business plan to it. And I know, like, for general business, most of us teaching, like, yeah, make sure you plan, make sure you budget and things like that. But, man, sometimes people will sit on that for years. And I know, like, gym owners or business owners that have been sitting on ideas for years. And here's a bunch of South Auckland boys that took this same I guess, street mentality or ruthless approach. And, like, we're not successful because we've done mean plans. We're just successful because we're doing shit. We're not holding back for anyone. We're not trying to strategically plan for anything. We just do the do. If God makes it work, He makes it work. If He doesn't, He doesn't.
Yeah. I love that. Two things pop to mind. So one is the marshmallow challenge. Have you heard of that one? Where you got to build the tallest tower and you just go have dry spaghetti sticks, marshmallows.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, they did this experiment. It was quite interesting. So they did it with adults and they did it with kids. So with adults, they took their time, they're planning, and then they went and built the thing and everything just clapped. So for the most part, a lot of the adults failed when it came to building their tower.
Yeah.
With the kids, their towers were high and tall.
Yeah.
And the difference was the kids was trial and error. They didn't just sit there, plan and think before they did anything. They went and just did it. They did it. It's like, oh, that fell apart. Okay, that won't work. Let's do that. You know? And then the second thing is like there's that level of risk taking. That level of risk taking. I did a workshop with Spark. We've got a partnership with them to help more young Pacific and Māori get into tech. And one of the questions that was asked, the kids were trying to discover what their strengths are. They go, risk taking. I feel like my strength is risk taking, and all the other kids were like, "How is that a strength? Taking risk, isn't that like, be careful, unsafe?" And then it's like, nah. And I jumped and I go, risk taking. It's like you won't know unless you try. And risk taking is about trying. Right? Like, and some people are afraid to try. Because they're afraid to fail. And I feel like there needs to be a balance of that. And like when you're starting off as a business, you won't know if your idea is actually good unless you try. But then you get to a point where it's like after you've tried, learned, and failed enough, like, cool, we've figured it out. Now we need a little bit more structure to scale and do this thing more efficiently. And I feel like that's the stage you've gotten to a point now. It's like, look, we've failed enough, we've learned, we've tried, we've risk taken enough. Now it's about like, how do we grow this? So we're going to have to change our approach a little bit. But look, also, I love this ambitious person that you are. You're still young, you're still driven, you're a leader, right? You talked a lot about your upbringing. What values from your upbringing that you learned and still carry that's driving you today?
And I think it's just the making no excuses or just making it work with what you have. With how Brown Pride came about, like we just simply used the skills that my mates had. Like every Friday would come together after dividing containers at Cadbury or Kunenagel, and we'd just have a beer and play pool table. But I knew all of us had enough skills to do something. And one Friday, found out I was having a son, and I announced it to the boys. And I said, oh, man, and I want to do something better with my life. I don't want to be like, not to put down laboring or anything like that. I just wanted to just do something different. And we just used what we had as a youngster. When we stayed with me, my mum, and my sister, we had like those foam sponge mattresses. And we used that. That was our dining table to eat on. Then we'll flip it, and that was our bed to sleep on. So, but we were happy. Like I still look back at those days and think, man, it was only Wick-Bix, hot water and sugar, but we made do with what we had. And I'll never change that.
So, also, we're going to switch gears here a little bit because you manage a team of 40 and 50. And I know a lot of people who are only managing like 3 and 4 and they're stressed out. And leadership could look differently. Different for some people could mean something different, right? Tell us about like leadership. What were some of the toughest lessons that you have had to learn about leadership, and maybe some tips for our audience?
It's something like that. I mentioned like 50 or so, because for me it's probably a different approach to everyone else. But I guess my why or my main reason for hustle is for my kids, for my 2 kids. And within our staff team and contractors, 30 or 40, but they have kids. So I count them, their kids. Man, to be honest, it sounds shit, but I don't really care about the staff as much. I think about their kids. Like, I know these coaches have kids. I know this person has a kid. I worry about that kid, not so much. Even though it sounds bad, I don't really. The reason I'm up till early hours of the morning is ensuring that that kid's got some food on the table,
Wow.
that their parents is bringing at least something from Brown Pride that helps their family. Like that's why I count it as a 50, because we're probably 30, 40, but counting all those staff and their kids, like I have a soft spot, because I know my reason I'm doing this shit is for my kids. It's not for me. I don't care about all the accolades. And man, if my partner knows me. I don't really buy stuff for myself. I'm not really a materialistic person. Or probably my whole circle of friends. So things for ourselves was never in the forefront. It's always just about our kids. So for me, that's where I base my leadership is. I don't like it. It sounds like somewhat bad, but man, I love and care for the staff, but more than that, I love and care for their future, for their kids and their future. That's who I'm trying to help out. Like with our staff, man, I'm always pushing them. Yes, it's cool you're working for us, but I want you to build something that is yours, that your kids can inherit when you move on from this life. Like that's my main priority, is ensuring our kids eat. Not, yes, it's good like that they got a job they enjoy, but end of the day, when I'm up late at night, when my kids are asleep, I think I want to make sure that if I was to die tonight or tomorrow, that my kids can inherit something that I've built from scratch. And that's my same goal for my team. As I'm not there to boss them around, I'm there to nurture them till they're their own boss, till they're running their own teams. And it's not to say that everyone's fit for their life, but I know there's some, like, I wouldn't bring anyone that didn't have potential into my circle. Like, we have a close knit of mates. That's myself and 5 other boys. I got T, Talili, Tino, Jai, and Rich. They were like boys that I'll take a bullet for. Like, those are like my ride or die, my best mates, man. We've been through the highs and the lows. So like those guys, for them to encourage me and say, oh yeah, we can start the business. I didn't have any business mentors, any strategic advisors or anything like that. I just had my best mates that backed me. And when we started slowly understanding that we need more structure, we need more, I guess, skill sets and team to build Brown Pride to what we want, it was like a slow progress. Like, oh man, we're opening up our circle of trust. And I guess like that comes with leadership, is ensuring I'm picking the right people that doesn't affect the other team members. And managing it, you could say managing is one thing, but I think if you prioritize the people, and the way I see it is prioritize their kids, then I don't see them as stuff. I see them as, sort of like in my eyes, I see them as my kids. Like I need to ensure everyone is eating. I need to make sure everyone's growing as a team so that they can feed their kids one day and they can leave something for their kids. So it's not just a Johnny show to build Brown Pride so that my kids inherit something. It's something that I can hopefully build for everyone's kids. Yeah.
I love that. Well, that's something I admire, especially when it comes to like Māori and Pacific. Like that's their approach. It's very family and community oriented.
Yeah.
Like when I do this, I'm thinking about the impact that it's going to have on their families, their children, their grandchildren, and their future generations, right? Like we're thinking legacy, we're thinking generational, which is amazing. And I could see that for you, that comes natural, and especially as a leader. Well, so what's your level of engagement in the business in terms of a leader, like with your team? Like what do you do? Like how do you motivate them? How do you communicate to them? Like keen to see what that looks like. You know?
I think if anything, when we first started, man, like Brown Pride was doing everything, and there was only like 6 of us, the 6 boys, like, but we knew how to, like, us 6 spread across different projects and just got the ball rolling. And then when we knew we had capacity, when we knew we had enough receipts to get funding and to get pay coming through, then we invited people to step into those spots that we were juggling. And we were doing a half-assed job because, like they say, jack of all trades but master of nothing. So now we have the right people that are the master of those programs that can step in and they can pay. Whereas back then, man, we were just like fluking it, just going with the flow, faking it till we made it. But I think now that they're masters in the trade, like I should be asking them what can we do better? What do you think is the better approach to things? Whereas I know some people would be dictating to them, okay, this is how the program runs, this is how you should coach, blah blah blah. Whereas now I see them like I'm the jack of all trades that knows how to do everything, but they're the master of their trade. So I respect them and tell them, well, how do you think it should run? And I just manage that. Like, if anything, it's just like I guess touch points and ensuring that everyone's doing their job. Like they already know how to do it. I don't know the right and wrong way to do it. They're the skilled people. I just sort of somewhat ensure that all they have to worry about is their craft, whatever their bread and butter is, and I'll worry about everything else. Me and T, we're the main two behind Brown Pride. He does all the admin and finance, and I do all the planning and ideas and things. And I think it complements each other, because they say opposites attract or whatever. Like for me and T, like he's my best mate, and he is total opposite to me. Bit of an introvert, extrovert, and he's quiet, and I'm more out there. And so like the skill sets we have balance each other out. And even with my partner, like people like, man, is your gang just like you, like hustler? And I'm like, nah, man, she's total opposite. She'll rather just be at home relaxing. So I think, my approach to leadership and how we manage the team is they're the master of the craft. They're the master, the right person for the job. I just have to ensure that everything else doesn't interfere them doing their job. And I think it's just trusting who you pick. I don't like bosses that pick people and then this is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. It's like just getting the masters in there and just letting them do their thing. Yeah.
Well, ideally, you want to hire people that are better than you, right?
Yeah.
That's the smart move. Find someone
who's
who's better than you, and then offer it and trust them to do it. Tell us, can you maybe share with our audience like one of your biggest struggles? In your journey, especially with Brown Pride, getting it all up and leading and everything, and how did you overcome that? Like, if you can think of a moment where you hit rock bottom, and how were you able to navigate through that? Because for our audience, there might be people going through that right now. Or might in the future. So, what's your advice?
I think a big thing, especially now with the world of social media, is just hate comments and things like that, and it's pretty common now, like so common that it's like something that those that are in the public eye, they already know is coming. But when I was starting, I didn't see this one sort of big roller coaster. It was this lady that like was just trying to expose us, like saying, "Oh, these guys are charging this and that for boot camps," but she didn't know, because when we first started, we started like paying for kids sports fees, like gym fees or boxing fees, or buying rugby boots, or just trying to pay for any kids, because we started the boot camp and we're all still working full time, the boys, me and my core team. So the extra money just didn't sit right, especially if you come from like nothing. Like we weren't gonna, and like I said, we're not materialistic dudes. So as long as the boys had a box and had a feed on the weekend, they would work the whole weekend, run all the boot camps with me. So they weren't like too fussed. So I was like, oh man, at least we can give back to community. So we started paying for like kids' sports fees and all that stuff. Just out of love, like if I knew of any kids that were in youth programs that we're involved with that needed some financial support, then man, we'll just pay their stuff. But the outside world didn't know that. It was only those that were within the boot camp. And because, like there's that in the Bible, say, don't go around preaching or whatever on street corners and whatnot. So we didn't want to be recording, hey, we're helping this person, hey, we're helping this person. Even when we start doing the outreaches with the homeless, we were never like, hey, we're putting on a feed for the homeless, we're buying clothes for the homeless, or giving out toiletries. But then, but those that were involved with the boot camp, they knew of it. We just put it in a group chat, a Facebook group chat. But we weren't putting it as posts for people to share. then this one lady who happened to be Samoan as well, she came and like posted, oh, these guys charge this much, and the prize money is not even like a massive percent of the amount that's coming in, the people that signing up. And she didn't know like what we were doing like behind the scenes. And at that time there was a lot of like anger and frustration, like, man, here I am trying to help our people, and then there's our people that's shitting on me. And like even in her comments, I'll still record that because it was the first time I felt like somewhat hate. Like you always hear of famous people saying, oh man, we get so much hate comments and all that shit. But man, for me, just as a youngster, just trying to have a crack and trying to get some momentum and change the trajectory of me and my boy's life, then to see someone just shit on us, and I was like, man. And it just hurt, like it was, and it hurt because it was a Samoan, and in all the comments were like some people I knew as well, and they were like islanders as well, and I was like, man, here we are trying to change the stereotype and our own people shitting on us. And yeah, like I think I got to a point where like, oh, all the Brown Pride guys that knew what we were doing behind the scenes, they started going at her and like saying, man, you don't know all the stuff that these guys are doing. And at the same time, we're trying to save to move into a gym. There's so many boot camps that are like temporary and like we'll just use a park or just use a church hall or something. But where's the sustainability in that? So I knew that we needed to slowly chip away and save some money so we can, if we really wanted to pursue this dream of having our own community hub. But she didn't know shit. Like, she didn't know shit. And, like, for her to throw us under the bus, man, that, like, for me, that was probably the earliest time in our journey that I just felt like, fuck, I felt like shit, man. I was gonna, like, just, like, give up on everything. But lucky that I had good friends and good partner and family that backed me and just said, nah, just ignore her. And, yeah, to this day, like, some of our members that knew, like, remember when they're... Yeah, that person. Yeah. And man, there was so many shares and comments, and I was like, man, like, yeah. Thankfully, it didn't take it too high. I know probably some other people that weren't as resilient as us probably would have gave up on that, because man, there was a lot of like negative comments and man, like saying, oh, their parents didn't raise them well. And it was like, oh, yeah, like just dragging
bringing
like
the family
yeah, like shit they don't know, like, and like it's just
Yeah. So that affected you mentally and emotionally. Did that also affect you guys financially? At the time, or not a difference?
I think at that time, yes, like people started questioning what we're up to.
And they pulled out.
But then from the next challenge, then I was like, oh, yep, I'll throw it at your face what we're up to. And that's when we started really getting like we went from boot camps of 100 to like 300 plus and 400 plus, because I was like, oh yeah, so you want to know what we're up to? And then, bro, I just like, we started spamming stories, started our own Instagram page, and like started getting videographers to showcase our outreaches and our community work, and just like freaking rub it in their face, like, okay, yeah, if you want to fight Kakala and be nosy, yeah, like it's at the forefront, like we'll show you what we're doing. And one that didn't align with my morals, because I just wanted to sort of keep it humble and just, hate's a bad word, but I dislike people that are like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm helping this person, I'm helping that. I guess I get it now that we're in the funding space, that's what funders need to ensure that their KPIs and whatnot are met. But at that point in time, I just wanted to humbly help my community. I don't like this whole get in front of the camera and like brag about what we're up to in the community. But because of this one status and all the shares and all the comments and all the backlash from that, I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I'll rub it in your face what we're up to, and don't say that we're cocky or we're bragging about our things. If this is what you want, this is what you get. And then from there we moved into a gym, and I was like, yeah,
nice,
like let that, like I'll kill you with kindness. I didn't like share anything about that, or like it was like a Brown Pride crowd were just going at them, and I guess time told and moved into our spot, and
and see where you are today, right?
Yeah.
The people that you're helping.
Yeah.
So you hung in there, you stayed in there, and look where you are today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's probably a lot of people's lives that you've changed now who are very grateful that you didn't give up.
Yeah.
Because of that. What are you proud of the most? I mean, look, I know you don't like talking about yourself, and there's a lot of, especially for our Pacifica Māori we don't like talking about
Yeah, yeah,
ourselves,
yeah, yeah.
but what are you proud of the most in terms of your achievement and what you've done so far?
I think like if I probably three that come immediately to mind is like um, one is my last name. I get to uphold my last name because in La Salle, like in all the I guess the troubles I put my mom through, like the board hearings to and all that, the drama was always my last name getting dragged through the shit and Miss Timu, your son's playing up and things like that. And I always like, man, it wasn't until they try to expel me and put me in front of the board and I see my mom cry in front of a bunch of strangers that I really, and that was year 11, and I really changed my act and I finished off last hour as a leader and endorsed all my NCAs, but it was just because of that moment when I just felt like I really embarrassed my mom. And then it was always the goal just to make her proud. And now, like her last name, you can see it on billboards. Now that I'm running for council around Rewa, you can see it on TV and like on anything that I'm on. So yeah, that's probably one that I get to uplift my last name from the bad that I was dragging it through. Two is like members like this other time. It was like random as like it was a blind shot, but man, it's something that I always hold dear to my heart. Was I remember when in our early days was like came up to me randomly after we were training, and she was like, "Oh, Johnny, I just wanted to say thanks." And I was like, "Oh, what's that for?" And she was like, "There was this day when I was planning to end my life and I wasn't feeling too good, and I came into the gym and you asked me how I was, and I told you I was feeling pretty bad, and you actually like asked like, oh, why is that?" And started digging into things, and she said most people would have just said, "Oh, it gets better," or like shit like that. Whereas it was just like it's just in your nature. You just what's going on, like things like that. I wasn't trying to be Faikakalo or save the world. I was just literally trying to just be a human, be a good human and chicken. And yeah, she told me that, and I was like, man, it makes the work and the late nights all worth it. And then probably a third is just I guess the freedom and the um, getting to drop off my daughter in the morning to school and my son and pick them up sometimes and go to their stuff without having to do annual leave or sick leave or call a boss. And then even like my best friend T and his partner Risa, they're like two of our closest friends, and like getting them to like they've been working with Brown Pride for the last couple of years, and like they had their wedding last year, and they got to go and have a honeymoon and things like that, and like just seeing them have that freedom as well and have like somewhat of some financial support from something that me and T and our team have built.
Amazing.
Like that's a blessing. Like it's just, man, if anything, I don't really care about the materialistic stuff, but I care about that I guess that freedom of just
Experience,
experience
memories,
and family and
yeah.
things like that. Like those are the things that I really cherish now. Whereas at first I thought, man, when we start making some money, I'm gonna want to buy heaps of cool stuff, but it's not really it. I didn't think. Yeah, I thought I'd be like enjoying a bit of money, but man, I enjoy more the freedom and the just the feel good feeling of helping people. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing it. Three things that you're proud of, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, including your mum, who's very proud of you and what you've been able to do.
Thanks.
So you're very inspiring. It's one of the reasons why I wanted you to come onto this podcast and definitely share that bit of inspiration with our audience. So it's really cool. Before we get into politics, because I know you're in politics now, like, whoa, how did that happen? What's the story behind that? I want to hear a little bit more around Brown Pride and the problems that you're trying to solve in the community. Like, I want our audience to understand, like, what are the real problems? No sugarcoating. Like, what's the real deal? What's happening out there that more people need to be aware of? And then what are you guys trying to do to solve it?
I think one that I feel I grew up with, like there's an analogy of baby elephant and the stump. Like when a baby elephant is getting trained and tied to a stump, it can't get away. But regardless how big that elephant grows, it still thinks it can't get away from that little stump, which is the same mentality a lot of our Polynesian community and even South Auckland, a lot of us have is like, man, we tie ourselves to this mental stump of, oh, I was born in a Samoan family, or I was born in a housing or state housing, or I'm from South Auckland, that I can't reach anything. Like, you just tie yourself to that stump and just make an excuse. Oh no, I can't get away from here. I can't make it out of here. That's probably one big one that I've noticed, is that victim mentality, or that just tying ourselves to chaining ourselves down mentally and physically, and just saying, oh no, I can't do that because of this and that. Like, I was probably like that, to be honest. Like, as a youngster, like, that's probably why I got into a lot of trouble. Was just like, oh man, there's nothing exciting. I can't really do much in my life. Let's just start a fight, or start start doing something stupid in class. Yeah, and I think, yeah, once we slowly understand that, man, a lot of us, yeah, sort of yeah, put a roof on top of what we're capable of, or tie ourselves down to stumps, just full of excuses and bitching and moaning, but doing jack shit about it. Like, I think that's a common sort of trait within our people. And yeah, people probably won't like this. Say, nah, we're yes, we some in some sort of some cases, yes, we start way behind the start line that others are at. But fuck, who cares, eh? Like, honestly, like, who gives a shit? Like, fuck, just either figure out how you're gonna get to the start line, or just fuck off and move out of the way. Stop, like, projecting your fears of being your victim mentality to, like, shake up everyone else. Like, I think the more brown people say, oh, we can't make it out, then the more everyone else is like, oh yeah, we can't make it out. But imagine if all of us were like, man, fuck it, we started way behind the start line, but let's have a crack, let's have a go, let's have a actual dig at this, and just give it a good shot. And I think that's a lot of us is what we need. And like with you and what you're doing, and what all the other usos and business owners and sisters are doing within our community, the more we see that, then the more all of us will be like, oh yeah, it's normal. Like, it's normal to do something good or something great. It's normal to run your own business. It's normal to run your own podcast, own your own gym, and shit like that. Whereas, man, there's like that little percent of our people that are still in that buzz of, nah, man, we can't do shit. Nah, man, we're from poor families. Like, fuck, it pisses me off like that. There's some of us like ourselves that are trying to elevate our people. Then there's others that are like, man, just give up, or he's being feel poco, just come back down here. That's a massive thing, a goal that I want, is for people to understand that, like, we can do anything, like, honestly, anything. Like, you know, like, there's like freaking Samoan cricket players, there's Samoan business people, there's Samoan choreographers everywhere, there's Samoan politicians. Like, we can do anything. Like, why are we, like, our Polynesian people are just blessed with some raw talent, but there's some of us that are holding us back, just fucking full of excuses. And that's sort of, it's in the name, brown pride. Like, we want our people to be proud of being brown, and understand that that's enough to get you somewhere. Like, just be proud of who you are and just have a crack. I'm sick of this victim mentality, or this stay humble mentality, or I can't do this, I can't do that.
And I see it a lot, especially with youth. I mean, New Zealand has one of the worst statistics, for like youth suicide. And, you know, there's people close to home, or people that I know in my circle, who have, you know, there's young people who have tried to, you know, who have given up and be like, you know, there's no more use living anymore. And then, you know, just the other day I was on my phone, and I saw an article of a girl who took her life because of cyberbullying, something that you experienced. So there is, you know, it's pretty sad that not many people get past that victim, or the you know, like, life is tough, and bad things are happening for all sorts of reasons, right? How do you help them have that breakthrough? Or like you know, you've got audiences here who are parents, grandparents, might be young people themselves. Like, how do you help people overcome that barrier, that mental barrier that's holding them back?
Like, I wouldn't say I had the answers, or I knew what was right or wrong, But for me, what gets me by is understanding that when I'm feeling down, it's usually because I'm pressured. It's usually because I'm under the pump, or I'm just um, everything feels overwhelming. But for me, I've realized now that pressure is a privilege. Like, to be under pressure, like what is it? Pressure makes diamonds. Like, that's the mentality. Is if you're feeling like people are depending on you, you're a leader. Like, people are looking up to you. If you're feeling like your kids are depending on you, you're the provider. And like, see it as a positive, as pressure is a privilege. Like, don't see it as a draining mechanism. They're like, oh man, I gotta do this and that. Same sort of approach that I've always had to the gym. Like, people are like, oh, I have to go to the gym today. I was like, man, you get to move today. There's people that are stuck in wheelchairs or stuck in hospital beds. Like, see the positive in it. Like, so many people, especially in the world that we live in, they dwell on the negative things of everything. And I understand, like I've gone through like my own mental battles. But man, if I look back, I'm like, most of that was just when I felt the pressure. I felt like I felt like the world was against me. But it's like, man, if the world is against you, at least you got an opponent. At least you got someone to face.
Yeah, at least.
At least, like, there's something to work towards. And that's what I tend to thrive on these days, is the pressure. Like, I love it. Like, I act like my family think I'm crazy asking for more work or wanting to do more things, but I love the pressure. I love being busy. I love knowing that I'm capable of doing things. Like, I don't want to be relaxed. I don't want to be bored. Like, give me the hardest challenge, and I'll fall in love with it. Until I conquer it, then I'll be happy. Yeah,
I love that. and I've learned that as well. Like, I've learned to love challenge and pressure and change my perspective. That pressure is like, it can be a good thing if you know how to use it, and if you look at it differently. I share this example with a lot of people around me and my wife. My daughter was 2 years old at the time, and she was toddling around. She had this obsession at a young age to open the TV cabinet. Everything that was in the drawer just came flying out. That was her thing. I don't know. It's like, we just, hey, it's the same thing. Nothing's changed. Like, nah, put it back out. It's all, that was her thing. But one day I just finished cleaning the house, you know that feeling after you just clean the house after the kids messed up. I can relax now. I sat down next to my wife on the couch, about to jump on my phone. Then my daughter comes along, opens the TV cabinet, and it starts throwing everything everywhere. I was like, oh. And my reaction at the time, guilty. I mean, hey! I yelled. I yelled. Because, hey! And my wife, in her most gentle voice, sitting next to the couch, her soft voice, like, sweetheart, she's just a child. She's just learning. I was like, dang. There's two people looking at the same child, same situation, but we saw something different. All I could see was the mess, and all my wife could see was a child learning. And I thought, dang, that's like life. When challenges come, you have two choices. You can focus on the mess, or you could focus on the learning. Hey, and that's the same thing I apply now, especially with challenges in business. And that if something happens, I step back and I go, what's going on? Why is this happening? And then how can I learn and how can I grow from this? Right? And I feel like that comes back to what you're saying, is like, pressure is a privilege. And it's about developing that mindset and not letting those challenges abuse you, but using it. Using it as a way to help you propel forward, Just awesome. And I love that. That's great advice for our audience, Now, tell us about the world of politics, man. I'm seeing you all over social media. A lot of people inviting you to come and guest speak. I'm seeing you all over social media, which is pretty cool, because I feel like, in other words, it's also getting you out there as well. Tell us the moment. Why did you decide to start to run for local politics?
Like, with Brown Pride, it's been a blessing, man. We've impacted a lot of people's lives and things like that. But again, like, that's a band-aid on things. Like, it's a temporary fix, where if we want to make everlasting changes, or changes that will ripple effect to the next generation, like, I got to be in some systematic changes. And you're not in systematic changes unless you're in those seats. And that's why I somewhat put my hand up, was, man, I want my kids to grow up in a thriving manner, or not mentality of, oh, can't wait to make it out of Manurewa. Like my big goal is that South Auckland becomes the Beverly Hills. Like that's where everyone wants to stay. Like now everyone's like, oh, you live in South Auckland? Oh, poor you. I want everyone to be like, you live in South Auckland? How lucky are you, man? He's got so much culture, so much life there, and things like that. Whereas now the mentality is, man, how do I get out of South Auckland? How do I get out of the hood? I want the hood to be the place to be. Like I want people to be proud of Rewa. I want people to be proud of South Auckland or wherever they're from. Like whatever area you're from, I hope that you're proud of it. But for me, because I'm a born bred, residing and hope to die in Manurewa, I wanna make it a place where my kids grow up and like, man, I'm die hard Manurewa, I'm Rewa hard, and that's the mentality I had was, yes, I want to make systematic change in my area so that my kids can grow up in a thriving Manurewa. And two, I want them to be proud of where they're from and know that their dad made change to the grass they walk on, the ground they walk on. I can't make that if I'm just sitting at Brown Pride. Yes, I can make impact within the community and other families, but I can't make impact on the community and, I guess, council level, governance level. So, yeah, that's sort of why. And people probably like, oh, that's more work for you to do. But again, like my approach or my mentality is different to yours. I want the work. I want the pressure. I want
And you'll
the
figure
eyes
it
on
out.
me. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Like it will sink or swim. Like that's the goal. Like I'm not gonna learn unless I have a crack. So
Love it.
there's no loss. There's only learnings and victory if it comes. And it's been enjoyable. I think if anything, I've always just put myself at the back of Brown Pride and people associate Brown Pride to me, but man, Brown Pride is its own monster. Like it's gonna be something that I believe will go around the world and empower our people. So I don't want it to be associated to Johnnie Timu. I want Johnnie Timu to be his own brand, like his own person. Like he stands on values that created and align with Brown Pride, but Brown Pride is his own beast. Like that will do its own magic and
Nice.
that's not my work. That's the work of my team and the community and the ainga that we've built around Brown Pride. That's not yes, it's the idea that came from me, but doesn't mean I'm doing all the magic. Like that's all our staff that we have. That's all the people that walk through our doors. They create. They're what Brown Pride is. Brown Pride ain't Johnnie Timu's business. Brown Pride is the community that those people have made. I just happen to be the guy that chucked the idea there. But man, it's a blessing what we're doing, but I just thought let's like do something that is my own name and that affects my own area. Yeah.
So you're already doing some good stuff in the community through Brown Pride. What will you do differently? Like, let's say you do successfully make it into
Yeah.
local government. Like, what are you going to do?
My main aim is one of the things is empowering our people with more upskilling, learning AI, learning business, learning different trades so that they can get better paid jobs. If we can make better paid jobs, it's a better economy in Manurewa. It's happier families. It's more fed kids and kids getting better education because they're well fed. They go to school with all the stationery they need. Two was just a more welcoming Manurewa, cleaning up our library, our pools, just making it more like it looks like jail cells and things like that when you look at it. There's like it just looks real dead and like man, but Manurewa is a vibing place and yes, people will see the downfalls and the criminal activity of Manurewa, but man, there's a lot of good side to it as well. So just bringing that life back to Rewa and bringing that pride back into our area. And then my third was just activations, just seeing how we can keep our community active with fitness or activities or parades and things like that. Just bringing back that, like when you used to go out like and play until the lights came on in the street and go and like knock next door. Can I use some sugar or use some salt at your neighbor's house? And my mom said she'll pay you back. Like things like that. Like just bringing that reasons for our communities to come out of our houses, because people say, oh, now it's COVID too, it changed things, but fuck, it's been years after COVID now. It shouldn't be that way. We should be out amongst our kids, and like now, because they see a lot of social media and then there's more TV and it's more accessible, they see all the bad things happening in communities, so they're like, oh, now let's keep our kids inside, or they're glued to tablets and shit like that. But man, I want enough activations or or things happening around the community that everyone in the streets out and just roaming and just back to what I remember Rewa to be like. All the kids on the street came on till the lights came on, and then we all rushed home and got Elliot and things like that. But now it's like, man, there's not as much as before. So that's my hopes is, and I guess the difference is with Brown Pride, if there's something we need to fix immediately, that is a band-aid or a temporary fix or something we can kick off that needs immediate approach, then Brown Pride. If there's systematic changes or governance level or legal things that we have to change to make a bigger, everlasting impact, then I'll focus my government hat or council hat. But that's sort of the two pathways I see as one for structural change and things like that, and then one just for grassroots change.
Yeah. Like immediate support
Yeah.
versus like long change.
Yeah.
Long-term
Because, man, I find it boring, like, when I heard that they have to go through all these loopholes and do 3 meetings to get one thing done. I was like, oh, no, man, lucky I got Brown Pride in my right pocket. Just pull it out. Yeah, sweet. Let's do this. Let's do that. Whereas if it's something that will take a while to take more governance level talk and funding and things, then I guess, council's the realm to be in.
Yeah. I love it. Also, look, thank you so much for blessing us a lot with your insights and your leadership and your inspiration, and most of all, your story. It's a really humbling story. It's a lovely story. It's a story about, struggle, family support, not giving up, and chasing your dreams, And I could tell you're a man of faith. You're a man who's very community-oriented, family-oriented, and you do things for the right reasons. And you're doing it with, because you love the people, So that's really cool. Look, I've got one more question for you.
Yeah.
You said at the beginning you're afraid of mice.
Yeah.
But you also said that you're afraid of dying without, leaving a legacy or making an impact.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve before you leave this earth?
For me is, definitely, if anything, my first priority is ensuring that my kids are proud of what their dad has created and what their dad has done. And then I guess for everyone else is that I leave a legacy where like there's probably some brown kid watching this and thinking like, man, I just seen a brown business owners or a brown owner of a podcast, and I hope that encourages them, like to, if they got an idea, have the balls and have a crack. Like, man, like this hat is Breakdown Poddy, which is Isaac Faitau, one of our young people that we've met and came through one of our programs, and now like he started his own thing, and like it's just, I guess the legacy I want to leave is that we as a people just uplift each other and we're not dragging each other down, and that we have the confidence to have a crack at anything, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's content, whether it's dance, whether it's podcasts, that we have the balls to run us straight to anything there is. That there was a guy named J-Boy that told me that I could do anything, and if someone tells you then that you can't do something, then, man, I've always stuck by the saying that Orion business mentors told me. It was like, man, fuck everyone. If they're not gonna help you out, if they're not in line to your vision, then fuck them. Like, get them out of the way. And it's the harsh reality. Just if they're not helping you, get them out of the way. And that's my legacy. Is just I want our people to be encouraged to just do anything. If you put your mind to anything, you can accomplish anything. And take that from a dude that wasn't great in school, didn't come from a rich family, but man, I'm doing some pretty cool stuff, and that was just because I had the balls to have a crack.
Love it. I love it. I won't repeat that, but you know what he said, right? Carve that in stone, go and make it happen. And if people want to support you, Brown Pride and anything else, how can they get in touch?
Probably, Instagram. Instagram is where we're mainly at, or our website. You can find it, it's Brown Pride NZ. And our policy is always open door, like open to any skin color. Like, some people think because we're Brown Pride, it's only for brown people, but no, it's just our values are aligned with what Polynesians, and that's how we're trying to clean up our backyard first. But man, Brown Pride's open to anyone and everyone. Yeah.
Awesome, I love it. Again, also, thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
Johnnie Timu, Brown Pride.
Thanks.
Thank you, also.
Appreciate it.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. If this conversation gave you something valuable, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. This show is all about helping you unleash your greatness, and the more we grow, the more we can bring you content that truly makes an impact. Thanks for being part of the Education Podcast. Let's keep pushing forward, and I'll see you next time.